Hi, everybody. This is Warren Herman, and so today I want to describe what I would call the three phases of understanding of prayer for healing. And the reason why I want to make this video is it's very simple. It's a very simple video in a sense because there are three phases we can go through when understanding prayer for healing. One phase involves maybe a phase that could be called like a naive phase in which we can trust and practice it. The next phase is a phase of doubt in which we would be able to practice it. And the third is a phase in which we now have gone through a phase of understanding complexity to it and have come to the ability to practice it again or to trust in it again, so to speak. So the thing I want to say is that healing prayer can be understood very simply as, okay, you have physical pain. Pain is just pain, and there's nothing weird about pain. Um, and you pray and God is 100% doing the healing. Then you might have somebody might challenge you on this. Somebody might because there's so much modern understandings. There's people who are New Age healers. There are people who are doing hypnotic healing. There are people who are doing street hypnosis. There are all kinds of things that can kind of come against the idea, these natural, similar methods that are using things that are like prayer, in that maybe so in street hypnosis a person might be trusting in the hypnotist if they're trying to do a healing. I mean, I don't know if it's likely that street hypnotists are doing healing, but there are sometimes when people are doing these type of things where they can kind of hypnotize people out of pain or argue them out of pain. So there's that type of thing can happen, and we could say, well, is the healing prayer fake because there's these hypnotic effects that might be similar, or there's people who are using other powers to heal? Like, does that mean it's illegitimate? And so we can fall into doubt and start questioning the method. We can start thinking, okay, it doesn't work, or it's working through natural means, that it's not working through supernatural means, that we can't attribute these healings to God at all, and that type of thing. Then we can come to another phase, which is more mature, where we can kind of say, okay, and actually, hold on, there's another thing too. When we study pain, and we can understand the teachings of a field called TMS, which understands that pain can be kind of as a result of perceived danger and expectation effects, and is influenced by the mind and generated partly by the mind in many cases, other than so acute injury, I hit myself in the hand with a hammer, I'm going to feel some pain. But the thing, obviously, is that there's also different types of pains you might feel in a chronic way because of expectation effects or different things. There's complex understandings of how pain originates, even from known conditions like arthritis. Like, some people will have pain, other people will not have pain, even if you look at the scan of their body, and they will both look arthritic, so to speak. So there's a lot of and even there's lots of studies about how, like, even in surgeries sometimes there's placebo effects, like, and so it's amazing when you look at the mind and the mind's ability to influence pain. And so when you get this complex understanding of the mind and the body, and you might get a more complex understanding of that there are mental effects in prayer, you might doubt the whole thing. But actually, what happens is you can come to this third phase where you understand that pain has a mental aspect and prayer has a mental aspect. And the work of God is not separated from the work of our mind, nor is the dysfunction of our body separated from the work of our mind. So we have to get our mind in order and our mind and our heart in order so that this can kind of work. And it actually just means that it makes sense that there's like, okay, our mind is involved with our pain and our mind is involved with our prayer. And so then that just kind of allows to account for the natural elements that kind of mediate some of this effect. And you wouldn't say God didn't heal you if you prayed and God gave you the miracle drug that was a pill. Why can't the miracle drug be a word or a prayer? So there can be some natural effects, some mental effects, some psychological processes that dovetail with the operation of God. In some cases it may be more psychological than spiritual. In some cases it may be more spiritual than psychological. What happens? So it's a matter of ratios, like how this kind of plays out. But it doesn't mean that we don't trust. And so these are the three phases. We have this naive thing where it's like it's 100% God's doing it, like bam, and it's 100% the pain is all physical. The middle phase where you doubt, you say, oh, maybe it's all psychological effects. And then you come to the place where you understand that the mind is involved in prayer, the mind is involved in pain, and that there's an interaction between all these things, and there's different ratios. But we can trust God in a way, and understand that He's ultimately the source of any of the healing. and we don't have to worry about like, oh, what's the ratio of what.